How you doing, everybody? It's me, TraderMaxx, and we're here on our favorite coin and CTO, Pojak, and I have a very special guest on today. This is James, the CTO lead. How you doing, James?
Hey, TraderMaxx, I'm doing very good, thank you, and the community's feeling great as well, and so is the project. Great to be here.
Yeah, it's actually really awesome. And this, we call this segment Community and Coin, where we talk about the communities and how the coins progressed. You're my very first CTO, so that's like, I'm happy about that I can actually interview and talk to you about the process and how things started. We're going to take this into a realm of just sort of a little bit more of like the history and some of the education. And at the end, let's talk about, the growth that's happening. I see a lot of growth, so let's save the good stuff for last and how everything's happening. Most people can see it on the screen right now. So James, being a CTO, which some of the watchers don't know, is a community takeover, almost like a hostile takeover in a way, right? The coin has progressed through a series of issues or failures, or I guess you could say, and then you guys came in and just sort of took it over. So explain to me, how did that all start and how did you get involved with that?
Sure, yeah. So, you're exactly right. It's a community takeover, a resurrection of both the community and the holders and the token itself. So I met the original devs of this project on another project 2 days before they launched. I then got added into a stealth launch group, which is when, of course, he launches a token, they'll create a group of investors in Wales, and then they'll launch the CA in there. So you think after knowing these guys on a previous project, being invited in on the launch of the token, that there's a certain level of trust. Anyway, I played it safe. I put in 0.2 Sol. The token was struggling, but it was getting quite a bit of momentum. So there was round about the 40K mark, which when you launch on Pump Fun, you need, I think it's a 64K market cap to hit Radium, which is when it goes onto the market. Anyway, they were struggling with that, so I went to bed. I considered it moon or dust. I woke up in the morning to be, to be quite pleasantly surprised to see my 0.2 Sol worth 10 Solana. So at that point, I was like, right, I'm all in. This is how pump funds are meant to be. Trusted people. Maybe this is going to be legitimate. So I started investing my time, working for my bags. And everything was going well. So on the first day, the token hit 230K market cap. So I went, right, I'm going to introduce you to some of my contacts now. So I introduced the project team to Kid and Walter, who run the Walter Show on X. They get a lot of great projects on there and a lot of exposure. And anyway, fast forward a couple hours, I was in town and I call up the dev and say, right, I'm just going to the pub now. I'm going to have 2 pints and then I'll be straight back home. I thought, right, time is of the essence. So I made that in 20 minutes. And as soon as I got home, I was gobsmacked because I saw the token was worth 8,000 USD, an 8K market cap. And lo and behold, I got dumped on again by people that I thought I could trust, people that I opened my contacts book to. So I sat there and I looked at the Dexscreener and I thought, do you know what? The reason why I invest in this is because this is a powerful meme. This is the weird love child of Pepe and Pojak.
Ooh, love that. That's amazing.
Yeah. And it doesn't sit in the daily meta. So I knew it's got longevity to it. And I could see the holders in the community chat just, unloading with just pain and, emotions. Like these guys have worked in real life. They've put their money into a Dex, into a CEX. They've transferred that Solana into their token, and then they've just been dumped on. So I thought, well, I'm not having this. Anyway, so I then messaged the dev and got him on a phone call and said, look, what you've done to me is absolutely outrageous. And it's even more outrageous than what you've done to a community who have given their hard-earned cash to you. If you don't follow these steps, I'm going to dox you across the entire space. So I got him to provide the Telegram ownership, the Twitter ownership, the website, and I made him pay for the Dexscreener update. By this point,
nice job. First, you're badass, man. You're like, you are going to do this, and you don't have no choice.
Yeah, if you're going to play dirty, expect it back. And
that's not even really dirty, to be honest with you, James. That's not dirty. That's self-defense 101, man. Strike hard, strike fast, and get get yourself protected. That's all you're doing. If you hadn't done that, this wouldn't be the success it is.
That's it. And, there's strength in numbers. And it wasn't just me that had been dumped on. It was a whole community of 500 other holders and 1,100 community members. So I then scooped up 10% of the supply. I took the floor up to a 23K floor. And then I messaged Walter. I went, yo, get me on the shows tonight. And I went on the show. And on my first space on there, I did a bit of social experiment. So I went in there and said, look, I've just taken over as CTO. It's currently me. I'm a one-man band right now. I've got no other team members. I've bought some of the floor. And I'm putting this message out there as a call for help. I want people to join me and create the CTO resurrection story that Solana needs. And I want to give back to the community that lost. I want to take them to where they were meant to be. And I want to take Pojak to where it was meant to be because I believed in the meme, which is why I bought it. From there, then we slowly started building. And I'm a big believer in slow and steady, one step in front of the other. So we didn't pay for any marketing. We didn't do the usual CTO quick hype train. We took it one foot in front of the other. We built a team up day by day. I added a new team member in. And then I started reaching out to Wales. And each day we took the floor up. So after about 4 or 5 days, we took the floor up to 40K. And by that point, when you start spending a lot of time with this meme and the community, I was thinking, right, how can we shake this up? How can we innovate? How can we break the mold? And how can we do something different to stand out from the crowd as CTOs?
Right.
So that's when I thought, well, let's make it more than a CTO. Let's actually build some utility. And because I'd fell in love with Pojak so much, I thought, well, this Pojak character is a new character in the meme space. He's new in the boys club, which consists of Pepe, Wojak, and everybody else. So I thought it'd be great to actually extend him further and get to know him a bit more. Yeah. And that's when I started toying with this idea of creating Pojak Talks. So Pojak Talks is going to be an animated podcast. Now, we all know right now we're in an attention economy, so podcasts have got to be short form and not long form, which is why I wanted to do 1-minute videos, a 1-minute series. So there'd be a collection of these 1-minute snippets that could go out on TikTok, on Instagram Reels, on YouTube Shorts, on Snapchat, and even on Facebook. So we started building that. We started connecting with animators. And then I was just getting on Twitter Spaces and spreading the word on what we're doing, what this utility is that we're building. And because we're right now in an animation meta, the traction that we got on that was unreal. People started straight away messaging going, yes, that's a great idea. Can't wait to see Pojak Talks. When's the first episode coming out? And then speaking with the animation team and stuff, I was thinking, well, okay, we've gone one step further, but how do we go a step beyond that? How do we keep getting better? How do we now evolve this utility and build upon it? And that's when I had the idea of Twitter Spaces. So Twitter Spaces are becoming very popular. They're an open forum, which allows you to get a lot of new exposure, but they're mundane, they're boring, they're all the same. They all follow the same recipe. So I saw that as an opportunity, again, to shake things up, break the mold. And that's when I started investigating and researching in how can we build a real-time animation that can be streamed through OBS onto Twitter Spaces so that you don't speak to a dev, you don't speak to a community lead, but you speak to the token and you see a live animation on Twitter Space talking back to its community that's brought into it.
Right. I know you have a history, a really powerful history through here, but I just want to ask you a couple questions as we go up through this chain, because it's important for everybody to know when you're building a coin at this level, and you're one thing he said in the very beginning, slow and steady, right? Slow is smooth, smooth is fast kind of mentality. So you found yourself at each new level incorporating the next level of a plan, right? Because you can't prematurely say, okay, it's going to be Pojak Talks back when you're on Pump Fund, right? So you got it as it's going through. And where he says his levels are, where everything is started, every new thing he's done, if you're watching the screen right now, you'll see that every new level that he's initiated something pushes to the next level. So my watchers, keep that in mind. If you're here and you're watching this Community Coin show is designed to help teach you as well that slow and steady, we got that, and we also know that at its new level, you got to reinforce it with a good team that knows what they're doing. How important is communication amongst you and your team, James?
Crucial. Like that is the lifeblood of us. If you're not in communication with the team, then you're a one-man team, and that's Yeah, that's where we built our whale group, right? So whale groups and tokens are vital because firstly, you need to be in contact with your top 10 holders, and then you need to be in contact with your top 50 holders. And then beyond that, you need to be in contact with your community. So there's these groups to communication groups and people that your stakeholders that you must keep in the loop with everything. So we started building on our whale group. These were the guys that were slowly buying the floor up first. Then we started building our smaller whale group, and these are the guys who are starting to trade for us, starting to almost market make by doing their trades. And then we started building the communication up with our community. So this is when we came up with the idea of Pojak's drive-through. Pojak's drive-through is an addition to Pojak's Talk, which is a daily Twitter space of where we go through the current state of the market, the roadmap, the progress, and then we open up to a Q&A, which is an open forum for any community members to rock up and ask any questions about where we're at.
Beautiful, beautiful. So now the utility here is you have a structure that you can create a medium that you can have your community come to, and you have a caricature that can help I guess just create connection with them, because everybody loves the cartoon method of movement. Everybody's watched these podcasts that have the characters as they talk. And I know, and I want to save the real deep utility for the next one, because that's a whole different segment with you and I know you're very powerful with all this stuff, and I can't wait to interview on that process. And if you're watching, you got to hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, because you're going to want to hear a lot of what James has to come for his other stuff that's going to create utility for Pojak, and that's a completely different series. But so the drive-through helps them get their questions out, because community participation is how important to you, James?
It's crucial. So the only metric which we're focused on right now is not market cap, it's not volume, it's not buy to sell ratio, it's community. And there's two figures that I'm watching, two metrics, which is community size and community engagement. And I look at those metrics several times a day.
And I get, and see, that's another beautiful part, is that you're so in touch with the mechanics of analytics that in your community, because then you can see what's sort of not lacking, but what's sort of slowing down in some areas, and apply some attention there with little, come join us here, come participate, come be a part of in that process. And you can see it. You'll see it in the voice of the division as well, because I don't look at yeets or what have you. I look at strand divisions and how long you can stay in there. And if you're looking at the chart right now, this is on July 24th. This is 3 days ago, which is a lifetime in a coin, by the way. And it has a beautiful stair-step ascending trend. It's so beautiful. This is like clock. If I was in Forex, I would have made $1 million through this process, right? As it is, I've done pretty well with my tiny bag, trading in a process all the way up with this solution. And you see even my levels of trading, it doesn't hurt the network, and I've still accumulated my 1.4 bag, which has grown 400,000 since the 24th, only by trading the levels I've done. So, James, in what you see coming to this next, because I was in a whale meeting this morning, and I heard that you were going to be doing something, and I seen it as a good trigger to get in and help, because you were having some micro buys being done, which is awesome, getting that whale group involvement. Where do you see yourself going from here? And I know you have a lot of utility to provide. We'll go into that in the next meeting. Where do you see this next level for you really starting to take hold and being just, there's not even really a ceiling for you? Where are you seeing this go over the next several days for you?
So for me, it's all about momentum and pace now. So, I've done a lot of tokens in the past. I've been involved in CTOs, and I've even done a 24-hour move from 50K to 1.4 mil on a CTO that I did in the past. But the problem with that is the momentum is too fast. And as soon as you have that rapid increase in valuation on your holders' tokens, they naturally immediately go, shit, oh my God, this is a really volatile token. And that's when they start cheating on you and dumping their tokens. So for me, it was, yeah, exactly. It creates, it's weird, like that greed creates fear. And we immediately thought, right, with this token, we don't want to do that. So we wanted to grow the token slowly, and we wanted to come to this point that we're at now, this milestone of $250,000 market cap. And as soon as we got there, before, we didn't spend a penny on marketing. Everything was organic, natural, one step in front of the other, had a front. And now we've reached that milestone. We're now slowly starting to switch on the paid accelerators. So today we began soul trending. And that way, yeah, we can give our holders that bit of peace of mind that they can sleep on their bags, knowing that this is not a volatile token.
Yeah, that's not going to wake up in 8 hours and be down, back down to 8,000 or 100,000, 2,000, So I see as well, like a lot of people who start in the very beginning, they get small bags and they go through growth, and then they get scared and they pull some off because they want to trim some of their initial profits and that kind of stuff. How important is the people to hold? I mean, it's important for people to hold their bag that holds a floor and mechanics. But do you think there's a utility in teaching people how to trade the bag to grow it while also growing the coin's overall worth?
Absolutely. I mean, I was in an AMA space yesterday, which for those listening means ask me anything. It's an open forum debate discussion on Twitter. And the trading topic was, the topic of conversation was hodl or trade.
Yeah.
And I think with most things, there's value in balance. And it's also down to multiple different variables in terms of personal circumstance. So I think as long as you have the knowledge on how to trade safely without wrecking your bag, and what I would personally suggest to people is hodl 80% of your tokens and trade 20%. And if you've got a group of people doing that, similarly to what you've been saying in your content and videos, which I love to follow as well, is you create that trading group, which is able to make the chart breathe, build everybody's bags, and creates that volume.
Absolutely. It creates stability of the floor of your growth. Like right now, you get a good natural pullback to a 50% pullback area, which is great for stair stepping like this. And what I've found, and I won't take too much time because I know we were already up at about 16, 17 minutes here, but there is a good strength in that strategy. And we're coming out with learning systems. One of the utilities that I'm going to be providing for you as well is any kind of trading, from trading in the 75% rule that I do, into trading with BullX and those things for the whale groups, and learning how to use those bags and use that beautiful system that's over there. I'm going to provide that for the entire community for free. So if you hold Pojak, you will be able to enter into this training network of learning what, from simple things like crypto, where is it from, what is it doing, how do you trade your bag, what do you invest with, what do you work on, how do you be participant in the community, those things. These are all things that I'm going to provide for utility for you, because I believe in your CTO. I believe where you're going. I love some of the stuff that we've talked about on the side. Okay, so as an ending note here for this interview, because it's going to probably be the longest one if I'm not careful, what do you have to say to the community, and any lasting words that you may have for this interview today?
I think, I can't hold my hand out and wholeheartedly thank the community enough for believing, supporting, participating and holding. I think everybody needs to learn how to be safe on Solana, and I hope you can come and join the community and win together, because when devs are out there wrecking people's lives, they really don't understand the personal impact. So yeah, we're a token that knows, we empathize, and we're here for the community. It's a CTO at the end of the day.
And you're absolutely right. And I think you have demonstrated a constant level of professionalism, a constant level of soul and love for your community, because and anybody who's just here for the almighty dollar, you can't keep up that kind of sincerity and still live right. So you've always kept that, and I've heard it in your voice over the last week or so that I've known you. I can't thank you enough for allowing me to be here and giving me some of your time. And I know you're very busy. You got a lot of stuff going on. As far as everybody knows, they just hit an all-time high. I just want you to show you that. An all-time high from back in the day of 220 or 231, and they're now piercing. You're going to 300. You're going to probably bounce off that floor at 300 for a second, but you might be at this level. You've done some stuff today. It was amazing. I can't thank you enough, James. You have a great day.
You too. Take care.
All right, everybody. If you like what you've heard today, please like and subscribe. Get that notification, lick it, kiss it, touch it, whatever you need to do. And I'll see you next time. I'm Trader Max, and as always, trade well.